Good morning, folks. Everything new under the sun. Today, we're going to take a look at a number of articles, a number of topics. We're going to go through them fairly quickly, and I think they all end up leading us to the fact that we are in the last days, and I believe all these things clearly confirm end-time Bible prophecy and the order of events and the nations that will be involved in end-time Bible prophecy, and how close we are to these things happening. We're looking right now at coinmarketcap.com. Let's first go over to CNBC. This is your favorite mainstream news channel. You notice that Dow futures is down in. Let me see. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can slide this over here. Dow futures down 132 points, so it looks like it's going to start down 200 points today. So they've had a massive rout on the markets. There we go, that's better. Let's take a look at it. Bitcoin plunges 11%. Oil edges higher, that's good. After Russia indicates larger output cut. There's a situation with OPEC wants to limit oil production to artificially raise the price by way of supply and demand, less supply effectively. And Iran is actually not going along with it. They don't want to cut production. They want to keep making as much money as they can. So they're refusing to go along with OPEC's request to limit the output, basically. They want to make the money. They want to sell the oil that all the other nations are not selling effectively. Tariffs have hit confidence. That's a key word. To slow U.S. economy, said Fed's Williams. Confidence. Confidence is huge. Pay attention to that. Put that in your back pocket, because confidence is what holds up a fiat currency. A fiat currency is one that exists only as long as people have confidence and believe in and want that fiat currency to exist. As soon as the regular consumer doesn't have confidence in the fiat currency, as soon as they don't trust it, they will stop accepting it for the sale of goods and services. And as soon as consumers stop accepting it, that means its effective value is zero. It's not worth anything. It's not valuable enough for the person selling the product to accept it, and that is the complete erosion of confidence. And so fiat is all about confidence. So interesting that tariffs have hit confidence. What triggered the 1929 collapse? It was a tariff, tariffs, which triggered a confidence problem of the investors in the stock market, and then they started pulling out because they wanted to get their money out and into hard assets, gold, silver, for example, before all confidence was lost. And some of them got out prior to the collapse, and some of them didn't. But this is a key word, confidence. Tariffs have hit confidence, and that is really what is happening. Along with this is cryptocurrencies. Look at this cryptocurrency. Everything is down. There's a couple Tether and Bitcoin SV that have went up a few percentage points, but mostly everything is down. Now, if this was an alternative to the stock market, it's not a very good alternative. It basically is following the stock market. When the stock market is up, cryptocurrencies go up. When the stock market goes down, apparently cryptocurrencies go down, which means it's not a safe haven. It means that people who are invested in this don't see it as a safe haven when the markets go down. They don't see it as a wealth transfer device. Likely these people are selling and trying to get into something else. So we haven't seen the bottom yet of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 3,400, as you can see. Ethereum is $85. Let's see. Where is... oh, there's Litecoin down there. $25 US. Remember, that was around 150. So it's down. If you want to get into the cryptocurrency market, now would be probably a good time. If it goes up again, that's the question. If the markets go up, and I think they will go up again, there will be a short period where they go up and spike just before the total crash. So there is a good chance they could go up again, but you have to sell at the right time, and then the potential that you can actually do anything with the profits at that point in time is not high, because I think once the markets do fire up that high, I think they're going to come right back down very quickly, and we will have a worldwide economic collapse where you're going to be worrying about a lot more than what you can buy with all your fake currency. So let's get rid of that. So the economy is heading downwards. We expect some large gyrations. I don't think this is going to be the crash. These are birth pains. Remember how birth pains work? They increase in frequency and intensity. The big event doesn't happen yet, but we see some big ups, some big downs. So we see some smaller ups and some and bigger downs, if you will, until the baby is delivered, basically. And so that's going to come later, but we're going to see these big gyrations, these big birth pains in the economies. What these should serve as is a warning to you to get prepared when times are good. Times are good right now, by the way. When times are good, get your provisions ready. Prepare for when times are bad. And I think when the bad times are coming quickly. I know for me, I've been trying to focus any extra money on hard assets. I've been putting money into my camper, for example, because that's a hard asset. I've been buying tires. It's as simple as buying a new set of tires for your camper, because that's going to add value to it when you go and try and sell that or barter the camper. You know, if you wanted for food, water, or anything, then a new set of tires is going to increase its value to the person who's looking to do that trade or purchase. So it's very basic. It's very simple. Put money into hard assets that won't depreciate too long. Those new set of tires on a camper, for example, will probably last for the next 15 years on that camper. So it's a type of thing, and that camper itself will not significantly depreciate. It happens to be an Airstream that I got for about $2,000. Was it last year or the year before? Must have been the year before. And so it's a very street. I got it very cheaply, but it's an Airstream. So as long as I fix it properly and put the elbow grease into it, then it should be worth something on the other end as a hard asset. So these are the sorts of things you can put money into things. They don't have to be gold and silver. They can just be a hard asset of any type that isn't going to depreciate too fast, and then you'll have something coming that you'll be able to use if you absolutely need to on the other side of an economic collapse, of even just a recession. If you need to, you can always sell or trade that hard asset. So that's where it comes into play. Remember, now is the time to get prepared. Just like Joseph in Egypt, there were 7 good years and 7 bad years. We're in the last 3 years of the 7 good years. We can see the birth pains starting of the economic troubles that are coming, and we're going to start 7 bad years. Probably we're going to kick that off with an economic collapse, and I think that's really what the next phase is. I want to take a look at, let's see, Deep Mind. This is an interesting article, and I liken it to the Revelation passage we're going to take a look at. Deep Mind's Alpha Zero now showing human-like intuition in historical turning point for AI. So this is interesting. It's going to act more and more like a person. What does Revelation 13 say? This is Revelation 13, verses 15 and onwards. Let's see, starting in 14, and let's see, let's go up. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he had spake as a dragon, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell within dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in sight of men. Keep that in your back pocket, because we're going to read about that. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there's power and life given to this image, and I sort of wonder if this image is maybe AI. Why do I say that? Why isn't it just a human or something? Look at these articles here. This is from ScienceAlert.com. An ex-Google exec is founding a religion where people worship an AI god. There's people calling for basically an AI God, to bring all the peoples of the earth together to worship one single God, instead of having our own religions, if you will, worshiping Allah or worshiping the God of the Bible, or worshiping any other God that's out there, the Hindu God. So you have some big people who are pushing, and saying that the whole world could come together in peace if we just focus on one God instead of having a whole bunch of gods, and that's what they're doing. Here's another article. MarketWatch.com, Dean of New Church says we need to worship at the AI altar or else. It says Anthony Lewandowski's new church, which he dubbed Way of the Future. Here's how Silicon Valley robotics whiz describes his artificial intelligence-based religion. It says, what is going to be created will effectively be a god. It's not a god in the sense that it will make lightning or cause hurricanes, although maybe Satan himself could give power to the image to cause lightning or hurricane, just like Revelation 13 says there. But if there is something a billion times smarter than the smartest human, what else are we going to call it? And so there's people calling for AI, an AI God, and that this will bring the world together under the banner of a single God that we're all worshiping effectively. And Revelation speaks of a time when we will be forced to worship some image, some beast, some thing, some created thing, which is given power by Satan himself to kill people. And that's exactly, I think, what Revelation 13 speaks of in these verses. So that's interesting. Now, we move to, let's see, here's an article about Russia. Let me just move this around here. This is an article about the U.S. military, what's going on in Ukraine. U.S. military flies plane over Ukraine in warning to Russia. And of course, we know that a military ship is heading into the Baltic Sea. They've told Turkey it's coming. It's a great warning to Russia. And basically a game of chicken. Who's going to blink first and who's going to pull the trigger first? Possibly Russia and China pull the trigger by way of economic mass destruction and somehow encourage or trigger an economic collapse, which takes the U.S. out without a shot being fired. And I think that's an interesting speculation and a real possibility. Pentagon says flights reaffirm commitment to Ukraine amid tensions with Russia. So Russia seems to be lined up on Ukraine's border. Ukraine had implemented martial law because of the threat from Russia. It says Russia's unprovoked attack on Ukrainian naval vessels in the Black Sea near Kerch Strait is a dangerous escalation in a pattern of increasingly provocative and threatening activity, the Pentagon says. The United States seeks a better relationship with Russia, but this cannot happen while its unlawful and destabilizing actions continue in Ukraine and elsewhere. So that's a kind of an update on the situation. NATO/US are kind of surrounding Russia, kind of pushing them into a corner even further, making them be more upset, which could again be another hook in the jaw, forcing Russia, convincing them that they need to march on Israel. Well, here's an interesting article from Zero Hedge. Why Russia won't invade Ukraine, the Baltic statelets, or anybody else. This is an article authored by the Saker via the UNS Review, and it basically goes into an article about reasons why Russia wouldn't invade these states. It doesn't make sense for them, politically, economically, etc. And I would suggest to you that indeed they don't want to, and that's exactly why Ezekiel 38:39 says there's hooks in the jaw. There's something that pulls them, that draws them into battle. They don't want to go to battle, and this article really confirms it. Indeed, that there's no specific advantages for Russia to get into these big wars by any stretch. They're going to be drawn into it, just like the Bible says. So incredible. The Bible, this article basically confirms end-time Bible prophecy. It says the Anglo-Zionist propaganda machine is constantly warning us that Russia is about to invade some country. The list of candidates for invasion is long and ranges from Norway to Ukraine and includes Baltic statelets, Poland, and even countries further west. Of course, we are also told NATO and the U.S. are here to prevent that. Thank God for them, the article writer says. But what is conspicuously missing from the narrative is a discussion of possible Russian motives on such a military move. And so it goes on basically arguing and giving the reasons why Russia may want to invade. They want to gain some more land. They want to increase Russian population. They want to be more powerful geopolitically, geostrategically. That's number 3. Number 4 is revanchist moves. And so they have all these reasons which people put out there as to why. Number 5 is megalomania. Number 6 is to save Putin's regime, to give Putin power to save his prime ministership, basically, or to create Great Mother Russia. The article goes on. It talks about martial law. If peace is needed so badly, why do they keep why do they keep pushing or moving on Ukraine, for example? It's an interesting article, and you should read it. I think the key point is, it's a good question. Why would Russia want to do it? And I don't think they do. And that's exactly why Ezekiel 38 says Russia will have hooks in their jaw, which pulls them in the direction of Israel. They don't want to go, but these hooks will pull them into it. So I think that's an interesting side of the situation, something that people maybe don't understand. Russia doesn't want to march in Israel. They definitely don't want to. Every time they show us they don't want to, they're cooperating with Israel in terms of the Lebanon battle, and that's what this Ynet News article is about. Israel may need to operate in Lebanon, and Russia has basically given Israel the general permission, or not the permission, but they've agreed to let Israel go in there without any retaliation at this point in time to take care of these terror tunnels. Russia has said that Israel deserves the right to defend its borders. So Russia is still trying to be on Israel's side. Russia also has, I read an article that they have soldiers trying to prevent missile shipments to Hezbollah. Because again, Russia's not stupid. They know Israel has the right to defend its borders, and that's exactly what Russia's trying to do, defend its borders. And so they're trying to help Israel at this point in time. But again, we're going to see an increase in the number of hooks, the number of reasons why Russia needs to advance on Israel. It's going to be because of the allies that are pushing Russia to go into battle. Iran's probably saying to Putin, we need to wipe Israel off the map, and Putin's saying, why? What threat are they to you? You're such a larger nation. And Iran would just come back with, well, we historically hate Israel. And so and Putin says, well, we're not just going to go in there because you want to wipe them into the sea, but there's going to be other reasons. Monetarily, there's going to be reasons of wealth and spoil that Russia eventually will, like Israel's agreement to pipe natural gas to Europe through Cyprus. And this is going to undercut Russia's profits. And Russia's going to be at a point, they're going to come to a point where their profits are going to start going downwards, and it's going to look like Israel has all the power, all the wealth, and that's going to be another hook in the jaw to take the spoil, and you take the SP off spoil, and you get oil, of course. And so these are the situations going on in the world. I think these all show that Ezekiel 38, 39 is confirmed. Russia does not want to go into Israel, but there's going to be something that draws them into the battle. And then you have the look at this deep mind, this AI that is now showing human-like intuition, and could be used by Satan to convince people all to worship something that is not God. That's all Satan's goal is, to get people to worship something that is not God, and those who do not worship this beast will be killed by some manner, by supernatural power through Satan. And so, I won't read the article, but it's interesting. But where AI is going, and the fact that it's starting to show, it's going to be hard for you to tell this AI apart from someone else you're talking to. Right now, you chat with a bot on chat group or something, and you recognize that it's not quite human and it's not quite natural. But now these AI, these algorithms, the computer technology is increasing to a point where it's going to be hard to tell if you're talking to artificial intelligence or a real human. And it's showing human intuition at this point for this, in terms of this particular article. And again, it's going to be something that I think maybe this is the God that the whole world worships. They're certainly pushing for it. All the people pushing this are going to say, let's get rid of all the world religions which cause all the wars and problems in this world. Let's bring peace to the world by having everyone worship a single image, a single God. They're not going to call it the beast. And we will have world peace if everybody worships the same God. And I think that's exactly what these articles show. It's pretty fascinating stuff, guys. I'm going to put the links in the description. You can check them out yourselves. Thanks for watching. Please share. If you haven't found me on Patreon, please go to Patreon. And if you go to micahgallant.com, a link in the bottom of the description, you can find how to support. And you can check me out on Patreon and support me there and support this channel as it relates to getting the word out about end-time Bible prophecy and the return of the Lord. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.